Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we are letting my boyfriend pick what I read for the week. Breaking Hayley. She surprised me. I rated the first book to check the trigger warnings. Awful. I don't know how to describe my feelings about this book. Painful to read. For that, chapter 36, car accident has amnesia. My boyfriend has had to put up with me raving about my books, demanding that all I do in the evenings is read, and basically just being book obsessed for literally like months and months now. So I thought it was his turn to get involved, and I asked him to go through my Goodreads and pick out a book for me to read. So I texted him, I said, hello. He said, hi. I said, can you please pick me a book to read? He said, yes, how? So I sent him my Goodreads. He then scrolled through my to be read, my TBR, and I just said, pick out anything you want, just get a good vibe and send it to me. So that is what he did. And his book of choice, which was quite surprising to me, was Breaking Hayley by IA Dice, or LA Dice? No, IA Dice. Yep, IA Dice. And I have never read a book like this. So this is like a mafia, dark romance, but also kind of like low-key college romance, fake identity, romance. It's a romance, but it's got a whole like concoction of things going on with it. So this is actually a series. I did not realise this when I first picked this book. I just thought it was the one book. And yeah, this follows Hayley and Carter. Hayley gets in a car accident and she then wakes up from a coma with her dad and this doctor, which tell her she's been in a coma for 2 years. She's missed 2 years of her life. She's now in, I think, Florida. And she was in Ohio. And she's basically going to this special college to continue her education, but where she's also protected because there is some information that Hayley has, but she's forgotten because she's got amnesia. Oh, I don't know if I said that. She wakes up and cannot remember a single thing. And she basically has this information which her dad, who's a police officer, Carter, who's this guy from the mafia, and like all the people, gang people / police want. So basically, we're all waiting for her to realise what went on. I'm kind of filming this intro when I've already read the book, so I can give you a little bit more of a description. And Hayley used to be in this relationship with this guy called Alex. He is the focus, basically. Like, Alex did something, Alex had some information which everyone wanted, which Hayley then knew, but Hayley's now forgotten. And the whole book basically follows her getting flashbacks to her time with Alex. Carter goes to that college as well to break her and find the information, but obviously it doesn't quite go like that. There is a little bit of romance that acquires, and yeah, it follows that. So if that sounds like you want to know what my thoughts are, please do continue watching and please do subscribe. I post all sorts of book content / lifestyle stuff. Anyway, enjoy. Hello. Please excuse the fact I look a bit, I don't know, dead. I have been up since 4. It is currently 1:30. It's been a day. Basically, I've got the rest of the day off. So I've taken my makeup off and I'm planning to have a really cozy, comfy day and read my book. I am 40 pages in. Oh, I've only got 17% on my Kindle. So far, not much has happened. Obviously, I'm only 40 pages in and there are 423 pages of this book. Not much has happened. I did have to, last night I started this book and I had to go back and read the blurb because I did not read the blurb before starting this book and I was so confused. It's like, it's giving kind of mafia vibes. So it follows Carter and Hayley. Hayley just woke up from being in a coma. And her dad's lying to her about why she was in a coma, and Carter, I think, is going to be sent to track Hayley down, and then they meet, and I presume it's a little bit more involved than that. I'm enjoying it. Obviously, I'm not really into it, but I wanted to check in. I'm intrigued to know why Freddie picked this. Like, it's a weird, I wasn't expecting him to pick this. I was expecting him to pick something like fantasy. So the fact he picked a romance is honestly quite surprising from him. But I am enjoying it so far, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna try and read, like, I don't know, I might even read the whole book today. I've got no other plans today. I'm absolutely exhausted. Well, I have got other plans. I've got therapy, but that's it. And I'm gonna go for a walk. But I'm so exhausted, and thought of just lying in bed or on the sofa with a cup of tea reading my Kindle sounds exactly what I need right now. I honestly might read this entire book today. Obviously, I'll keep you updated. It seems to be a really easy read because I was actually shocked that I'm 40 pages in. So kind of if I do get to read it all, I might. But yeah, so far I'm really intrigued to see what the concept is. Really intrigued because I've never read a book like this. Oh, this is a series, Shadows of Obsession. I will check in probably in a couple hours when I'm a little bit further through the book. Hello, update. It's been quite a few hours since I last spoke to you and I haven't really read since. I literally said like, oh, I might finish the book today. After I spoke to you, I think this is a really bad angle, sorry, I'm just getting into bed and it's so blimmin' cold. Getting into bed takes priority. I spoke to you, then I had therapy, and then literally straight after therapy I came and chatted to Fred and then fell asleep for 45 minutes. Ended up the flat, made dinner, then we just went and collected my car because it was parked ages away and I need it tomorrow. Nobody asked, but I'm only now 100 pages into my book, so it is, I want to say like 9-ish, and I'm going to read more now. Luckily, tomorrow I do not have a super early start. I start work at 9, so I'm gonna, yeah, it's 9 o'clock now, so I'm gonna read probably for maybe like an hour or two. I'm not that tired, so I just want to read until I'm obviously tired, but I'm on page 96. Hayley and Carter have met, but I think Carter's going as a fake name. She started college, she's in this like special college. I'm not going to spoil the book for you, of course, but she basically goes to this special college after her memory loss incident because she's in a car accident and her dad has sent her to a special college because she's suffering with amnesia, or well, that's what she's being told. So far I am really enjoying it because I have no clue how this is going to unfold. Obviously it is a romance, that's kind of obvious, but other side of it, like the whole mafia-ness to this book is totally new and I'm really here for it, so I am really enjoying it. But yeah, I'm gonna read, I've got 3 hours 38 minutes in the book. Most likely I will read until there's 2 hours of the book. That's the kind of low-key little aim I'm setting for myself. Annoyingly, I've not read that much today, but it's fine. I'm gonna 100% finish the book tomorrow, that's a guarantee. Hello. You joined me in bed again. I actually was really thinking I was going to finish the book today. It's Wednesday. I was expecting to finish the book today. I have had just a really weirdly busy day, even though I was meant to basically have almost the entire day off. So it is currently 9:15. I'm going to read for a bit, not for ages because I've got work in the morning, but I'm on page 261 of 423. There's 1 hour 45 minutes left in the book. I definitely want to get under an hour. But yeah, so far really enjoying it. I'll give you more thoughts tomorrow. I think giving you a whole update while I'm literally lying in bed is not the plan. So I will give you a full update tomorrow on exactly how I'm feeling about it. Hello. It is in fact the next day and I am in fact in the same position. I finished Breaking Hayley and there's a second book, so I thought we'd extend this video and read the second book because the first book finishes on a cliffhanger. I rated the first book 3.5 stars. It's good, it's a really easy read. I'm flipping through it quite fast. I don't know how to describe my feelings about this book. I feel like there's a lot which is just not necessary for the storyline. I don't think there needs to be a second book. I think we so could have condensed everything into one book, but clearly obviously the author wanted to make 2 books out of it, which is fine, and I am going to read the second book. Basically the book follows Hayley and Carter, but Carter goes by Nash, and he's meant to extract the information from Hayley because Hayley is the reason that Carter's sister is dead. So Carter is going after Hayley, wants to basically seduce her till she trusts him, and then he wants info from her. Hayley has amnesia but slowly gets her memory back. What's confusing is apparently the car accident happened when Hayley was 18. She's now 20. She's been in this car accident for 2 years. That can't be correct because she was actually only in a coma. Oh wait, did I say she was in a car accident for 2 years? She was in a coma for 2 years apparently, but that must be a lie, but it's never actually cleared up whether it's a lie. So straight off the back I was confused, and throughout this book a lot happened. No, not a lot happens. Carter slash Nash is, I don't know, it's kind of dark romance vibe. So he's kind of a gang man, he has no problem with killing people, he's very I guess like masculine, very I don't know what the word is. He's just like this guy from the mafia, so he's all like, ooh, very like cutthroat. And then Hayley's very much like sweetheart vibes. She's very nice. Obviously she's quite shaken up, understandably, from her car accident. She learns that her dad's like not telling her the truth about some things. I don't know, the storyline is good, but I feel like, first of all, a lot could be condensed. There's a lot of filler. There's a lot that just doesn't need to be said. There's this whole like side story with this other character which ends up kind of going really weird, which I didn't like at all. But like overall I liked the book. At the end Hayley gets another flashback and then something happens and then that leads into the second book. I've started the second book, which is called Saving Hayley, which I'm gonna read and I'll give you my thoughts. I don't know though, yeah, like I said, I gave it 3.5 because it was easy. I liked the characters and I liked the writing. I just didn't like some parts of it. I don't know, this is a really like confusing review from me, but it's a new read, it's a fun read. I read it quite quickly. And I'm going to read Saving Hayley. There are 411 pages, so a slightly shorter book. By shorter, I mean it's literally 12 pages shorter. And this follows Carter and Hayley post that last flashback, so it continues on. And it like continues straight on. It's literally just like turning into a new chapter. There is a third book to this series as well, which is called Something Violet, Finding Violet, which follows a whole other storyline between another guy in Carter's group, which I'm not going to read. I don't think this is a series. If there was only one book and then it went on to a second book with a whole other storyline, I probably wouldn't read it. Because it's following Hayley and Carter, I'm reading it. Yeah, I'm like, is it 3 stars? Is it 3.5? Is it 4? Like, I liked it, but I don't know if I did like it. I don't know. I hope that was a good enough explanation of how I'm feeling though. But yeah, I'm gonna start the second book. I still find it funny that Fred recommended this to me because he just recommended it over like what it looked like. That's just literally the cover. But I find it funny that this is what he recommended for me. I've just filmed the intro, so flashback / forward, I guess. Hello. I am on page 254 of Saving Hayley. I'm not enjoying this book. At the end of Breaking Hayley, Hayley is taken away, let's say. Something happens, she gets taken away. And at the start of this book, she gets saved, whatever. And now they're just desperately waiting for Hayley to get the information through. Like I said when I last checked in with you, this book so could have been one. I don't feel like this book needed to be a series at all or a duology. This whole book so far has been quite boring. Carter and her relationship has taken a really weird turn and I don't really like it. Sorry, I've got my lip balm. I'm basically using my lip balm as like my little whiteboard marker, or I don't know, I'm really describing with it. Carter and her relationship's gone really weird. She has lost all sense of like self-respect and worth, which I don't love because in the first book, she wasn't necessarily like this really independent boss queen. She was quite insecure and shy, but I feel like in this second book, she literally has got no personality that isn't Carter, which I feel like maybe slightly mean, but it's just kind of painful to read because I'm like, oh, Hayley, like, what? I'm gonna read it. Like I said, I'm well over halfway. Probably will finish it tonight, I'm thinking, I'm hoping. But yeah, it's not really gripping me. There's this whole thing of like, Hayley wants Carter to just break free and break out of his restraints, which is just like weird because suddenly Carter's got all this like restraint around Hayley. It's all just like a little bit weird. I'm just not really loving it. So we'll see. Either way, I'm going to continue reading it. Like I said also, I think in the last check-in, there's a third book and there is no way I'm reading this. I will DNF the series after this book, unless I get a real strong craving for it, which I don't expect to. I do enjoy reading this whole like gang mafia side of things. Never read this before, so like that's kind of cool. That's kind of fun. I just do feel like it's low-key, quite predictable, low-key cringy, and just low-key not the vibes. Ish. It's definitely not as good as the first one, and the first one wasn't even great, so we'll see what this one says. But I'm gonna go take off this makeup and read for a bit before dinner. It's 5:30. It's a Sunday night. I want to read and finish my book tonight. Hello. It is Monday. I know I have about an hour left of my book, so I'm obviously gonna finish it today, sorry. I'm not gonna lie, I hate having my Kindle like this, but I was reading last night because I was hoping, I can't talk today. I was hoping I was going to finish the book last night, but I was exhausted. I'm on page 327. Chapter 36. I feel like my thoughts still stand. I'm not really enjoying this book. At this point, it is just repetitive. They're having the same conversations. Hayley and Carter are like the same. Carter seems to have this like control over Hayley, not intentionally. She seems to have just like lets go of all like self-sufficiency in a sense, just does whatever Carter thinks or says, and she's fully consumed with what Carter likes and wants, which is just a bit like sad, because in like the flashbacks it goes back to her with Alex, the guy who is this whole like the deal of the book basically, and she's the same with him. So it's almost a little bit like, oh, I don't know if this is good. Like the relationship she had with Alex is so inappropriate, so horrible for her, so sad, and yet it low-key feels like Carter's the same. So I'm a bit like, what? I'm like trying to figure out what the author was trying to achieve with Carter and Hayley's relationship, in a sense. Like, it is not a like healing, lovely relationship that Hayley deserves. I don't know, I'm so intrigued to know what this final flashback is. Like I said, this book is literally waiting for like a couple more flashbacks. Like there are quite a few in the first book, whereas this one, the second book, we've kind of got most of the picture. We're waiting for like a little bit more finer details slash like this password basically. And I am so intrigued. Like I am interested in knowing what the outcome is. So I guess I am enjoying the book in that sense. It's just the thought process behind Hayley and Carter and Hayley and Carter's relationship I do not enjoy at all. I also think if you're thinking about reading these books, I don't know if I've really set them up to be, you know, that desirable, but I definitely think you should check the trigger warnings. There's quite a lot of like sexual assault references, and like women being objectified. It's definitely not like a girl power or a wholesome book in the slightest. So if you're thinking about reading this book, 100%, especially in the second book, check the trigger warnings. Like I don't have any major triggers apart from like health anxiety. That stresses me out massively. Nothing else really triggers me, luckily. But for someone who has those triggers, this is not the book for you. So yeah, definitely check the trigger warnings. But yeah, I'm gonna read now. I'm probably gonna finish the book now and then obviously give you my final thoughts. Hello. I'm here to give you my final thoughts on Saving Hayley. And wow, just wow. This book got 2 stars. The whole conclusion of this whole 2-book story was awful. Literally awful. I don't even know if I have words. Basically, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but the whole 2 books follows that Hayley has information which everybody wants because she was dating Alex. Alex was this guy that she was kind of sleeping with / had this relationship with, but he was also really dodgy. And he gave her the evidence. No one knew what this evidence was, but he gave her the information. All the gang and the police and everyone wanted this information. Hayley had it. We all thought it was in her brain. Yeah, it follows that. And the actual conclusion and what the evidence is was so anticlimactic. It was the biggest letdown. And I literally ended the book like, are you joking? Like I'd read like 830 pages, 840 pages of this, you know, story for that. I was so annoyed. Honestly, this book has frustrated me. The first book wasn't that bad because like there was story to it. The second book was repetitive and the conclusion was such a letdown. So yeah, thanks for watching. I feel bad because I'm like, Fred chose this book, which I'm glad because, you know, it's off my TBR now. I have read them, but I was kind of hoping this would have such a better outcome. I wasn't expecting to hate it so much. I really rarely hate a book. I rarely have such a strong dislike for a book. This one though, she surprised me. Would I recommend reading this series? I don't honestly know if I would recommend reading this series. I feel like there's way better dark romances. There's way better books out there. I feel like if it's on your TBR, read it. If it's not on your TBR though, don't put it on there. Not worth it. If this was one book, I probably would say worth it. But the fact it was 2 and the whole second book was just filler, it just felt like filler. And then the end story was like, I was expecting it to be like, oh my gosh, no way. But one thing that happens, we all kind of knew. And the other thing that happens was really like, again, when I read it, I was like, oh, well, I'm not remotely surprised. I feel bad. Like, the books aren't bad. They're not written bad. The concept was good. The execution, not so good. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I wasn't coming across as a real negative Nancy. Like I said, I hate hazing books, but also I don't want to be like, yeah, this is great, read it, because I wouldn't say it was great. But thank you for watching regardless. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you to my boyfriend who picked up my book. My next video is so exciting. I'm waiting for Onyx Storm to arrive to my flat, and my next vlog is me reading that. I literally cannot wait. But thanks so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. Follow my Goodreads that's in the description, and please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Kisses and hugs. Bye-bye.